funding your account is very easy to do. What you're gonna need is a centralized exchange, something like Coinbase, Binance, BinanceUS, Crypto.com, Voyager, FTX. There's plenty of great options out there, and you're gonna wanna go ahead and sign up for an account on one of those. It may take a few days to get approved due to KYC data acquisition, which is know your customer data acquisition. But once you get approved, you can go ahead and either buy MATIC or USDC, and we can fund our MetaMask wallet with that MATIC. Now, the process of transferring your MATIC or USDC off of a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Binance is going to differ on the exchange. However, it's going to be the same address that we're going to be sending it to regardless. So if you're using Coinbase or BinanceUS, a lot of these steps are still going to apply. The main thing that we're going to be worried about is this address right up here. We can see that we just copied it to the clipboard, or we can go into the account details and see the full address right here. This is where we're going to want to make sure we're sending our MATIC or USDC to. Now, on your centralized exchange, there will be an option to transfer off your crypto. It may take 5 to 7 days of owning that asset before you can actually transfer it off the exchange, depending on the exchange. But there is a general hold time required, so keep that in mind. What you're going to want to do is go into your centralized exchange account, whether that be a Coinbase or BinanceUS, and you're going to want to paste this address into the send feature. That means you're sending crypto assets off of your centralized exchange and into another account. Always make sure to double and triple check this address is correct, because if you have any misentries in here at all, capitalization mistakes, maybe mix up a number or a letter here and there, any mistakes at all, and you're going to lose everything in that transfer. So it's always best to do these transfers on the same device, meaning I would copy it to my clipboard on my computer and pull up my BinanceUS account and do it on my computer. You don't want to be doing this one from your computer, one from your phone, or anything like that. It's easiest and best to avoid mistakes by just copying it to your clipboard so you can paste it right into the send feature on your centralized exchange. Now, each exchange is going to be slightly different on what happens after you input that send feature, but there's most likely going to be some two-factor authentication verification that you have to go through, whether that be an SMS text approval, email approval, or Google Authenticator approval. There's generally some sort of second party authentication required just to make sure that it's actually you performing the transfer. Now's a good time to mention I always recommend transferring a very small amount at first to act as a test transaction to make sure that you really got the address right and everything's correct. Being on Polygon, transfers cost generally under a penny per transfer, so it's very cheap and it's very quick to do so. It's only going to take a couple extra minutes and one additional transfer, but it's going to give you that peace of mind that you're using the correct address and not sending it to a potential wrong address where you can't get your crypto back. Doing a $5 or $10 transfer before moving a couple $100 or even a couple $1,000 is always just a smart and safe bet. Now, once you transfer, it generally will take about 5 to 10 minutes at the very most to show up in your MetaMask. During that 5 or 10 minute transfer time, the crypto assets that you transferred off of your central exchange are going to show as missing, and you won't see anything in your MetaMask until it's officially delivered. So there may be a couple minutes of time where it looks like your crypto has just vanished, but don't panic. We can go to the Polygonscan tool and search that transaction transfer and see what's actually going on. If you aren't familiar with Polyscan, it is essentially just like Etherscan, a blockchain explorer, and it shows all the latest transaction and all the information happening on the mainnet. For an example, this transaction was a success about 1 minute ago, and it was a transfer from this address to this one right here for an amount of 32.5 wrapped Ether, or roughly 81,700 US dollars worth. And there was a very minimal fee of 0.001 MATIC, which is about a penny. Now we see here it took 10 block confirmations to happen, and that's the amount of validators needed to confirm the block to the blockchain. What is happening when you don't see those funds for those couple minutes between the transfer from your centralized exchange to your MetaMask is essentially the Polygon network is confirming that transaction through various block confirmations. And once that's posted, we can see the success. So all this is just a long explanation for you can essentially copy the transaction hash that your transfer gives you and track what's going on if you're ever worried about where your funds may be. Now I wanted to switch over to our Trident beta wallet, one that we didn't release the seed phrase and address to on a previous video, just to show you what it looks like when we do have some assets in our wallet. Now, after your transfer has been successfully confirmed to the blockchain off of your centralized exchange and into your MetaMask, your assets will show up here. If they don't, ensure that you are on the MATIC mainnet and not Ethereum or some other net. We can double check the activity for this wallet by switching over to this activity browser, where we can see a handful of test transactions that we placed as part of the beta testing team for Sulu update on Enzyme Finance. We do have a little bit left over, and that's what we're seeing here. But ideally, we would like to have much more if we're looking to enter or exit a vault. Keep in mind the gas fees on MATIC generally range from 0.0001 to 0.1 MATIC. So you are going to want a fractional amount of MATIC in here just to do some exchanges, whether it be depositing more assets into a Trident vault or withdrawing from a Trident vault. You are going to need about $1 worth of MATIC at the absolute most to be able to perform a withdrawal. So with that being said, that wraps up today's video on how to fund your MetaMask wallet. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below or reach out to us in our Discord server. The link is in the description.